We often walk across billions of grains of sand without a single thought. But beneath our feet lies a hidden world waiting to be discovered. Today, every step we take on this shore is a step over countless miniature universes, each holding secrets that have existed since the dawn of time itself. Imagine if I told you that within one tiny grain of sand, there is an entire cosmos of structure and energy waiting for your curious eyes. As the grains slip through your fingers, the passage of time seems to slow down, inviting us to look closer at what we usually ignore completely. Look at this single survivor on my finger. This tiny speck is about to become the gateway to a journey into the heart of infinite matter. It looks like a simple rock, but its edges are as sharp as a diamond, carved by the relentless forces of the ocean and the wind. We are now focusing our vision, leaving the world of the visible behind to enter a realm where the laws of physics begin to change. What was once a smooth surface now reveals a rugged landscape of mountains and valleys, all contained within a fraction of a single millimeter. Navigation through these microscopic canyons feels like exploring a foreign planet, yet this is just the very beginning of our descent into the deep. As we cross the threshold of the naked eye, the physical world begins to merge with the digital precision of a high-powered electron microscope simulation. The light shifts as we dive deeper into the cracks of the crystal, moving toward the very foundation of how solid matter is actually constructed. Behold the architecture of silicon dioxide. These massive, translucent blocks are the repeating patterns that give the sand its incredible strength and its beauty. A grain of sand is not a solid mass, but a complex maze of geometric perfection, organized by the invisible hands of chemistry and deep time. These shimmering threads are the bonds of energy, holding the atoms in a rigid embrace that has survived for millions of years on the coast. Every angle is precise, every connection is calculated. Nature does not build by accident, it builds with a logic that is both simple and profound. We are moving faster now, descending from the world of molecules into the strange and wonderful abyss of the individual atom itself, where things change. We have crossed the final border of solid matter. What lies ahead is a vast, dark ocean of space that exists inside every single atom, colder and darker than the deep sea. This is the atomic abyss. It is here that we realize how little of the world is actually solid. Electrons zip past us like ghosts, moving so fast they appear only as veils of light, guarding the inner sanctum of the silicon atom's core. As we travel deeper, the matter begins to vanish. What we are seeing is not stone, but a shocking and beautiful emptiness that defines all reality. 99.99% of a grain of sand is just empty space. It is a haunting realization that everything we touch is mostly nothing. At the very center of this nothingness lies a spark of pure power. We are approaching the nucleus, the beating heart of the material world. This is the nucleus. It is a dense, vibrating sun of protons and neutrons, held together by the strongest forces known to the entire universe. Here, mass is concentrated in a space so small it defies human imagination, yet it contains the energy that powers the stars and the sand. We dive even deeper, into the heart of a proton. Here, the quarks dance in a frantic, eternal ballet of color, charge, and unstoppable momentum. Inside the proton, the rules of our daily life disappear completely, replaced by a symphony of quantum fluctuations and pure, unadulterated energy of the void. Now, we begin our return, but look closely as we pull away. The patterns we saw at the center are starting to look very familiar. The nucleus looks like a star. The electrons orbit like planets. Is it a coincidence, or is there a universal blueprint for all of creation? The universe has no limits on size. A grain of sand contains the structure of a galaxy, showing a perfect symmetry between the small and large. We return to the beach, but our perspective has changed forever. We are living in a beautiful, infinite loop of creation that never truly ends. Next time you touch the sand, remember that you are touching the universe itself. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the infinite. From the smallest grain to the furthest star, everything is connected. Keep exploring, keep wondering, and always look deeper than the surface of things. Every grain here has a story, a history of billions of years, and a structure that mirrors the very stars that shine above us tonight. The ocean cleanses and moves the earth, reminding us that even the smallest particle is part of a much larger, living system of our planet. In every drop and every grain, there is a reflection of the whole. This is the mystery and the magic of the world we inhabit. Our journey ends here, at the edge of the sea, but the exploration of the infinite continues every time you open your eyes to wonder. We are but a speck in the cosmos, yet within us, and around us, the entire universe is present in every single grain of sand. Stay curious. The secrets of the universe are hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are brave enough to look just a little closer. One journey, infinite destinations. This is the power of perspective, turning a simple beach walk into a voyage across the dimensions of reality. Matter is but a dream of the universe. Farewell, explorer, until we meet again in the next hidden corner of our incredible, vast, and tiny world. The hidden geometry of the world is a testament to the order that exists within the chaos of the natural elements we see every day. Between the atoms, a silent war of attraction and repulsion creates the stability of the ground we walk upon and the world we know. Nothing is truly still. Even the most solid rock is a hive of frantic activity at the scale of the very small, moving constantly. The strong nuclear force holds the core together with a grip that is billions of times stronger than the gravity that keeps us on Earth. To understand this scale, imagine the nucleus as a small marble in the center of a giant stadium, while the electrons are in the stands. Everything in between is just empty air. This is the paradox of our existence. We feel solid, but we are made of almost nothing. But this nothingness is not empty. It is filled with the fields and forces that allow light to travel and matter to exist at all. Particles move through invisible fields, gaining mass and meaning as they interact with the fundamental fabric of the space-time we are all part of. An electron is a mystery, a wave of chance that exists in many places at once until we choose to look at it very closely. This uncertainty is the foundation of the quantum world, where the impossible becomes possible and the solid world becomes a ghost of probability. The atom is a masterpiece of balance, a delicate dance between the chaos of the quantum and the order of the visible world we see. Together, these trillions of atoms vibrate with the heat of the sun, creating the warmth you feel when you walk barefoot across the summer sand. Where sand meets sea, a complex chemical exchange takes place, a boundary where different forms of matter meet and interact in a constant dance. The force of the ocean is immense, yet the sand grain survives, its molecular structure locked in a crystalline embrace that resists the crushing weight. Over eons, mountains are ground into these tiny specks, a process of destruction that creates the very beauty of the beaches we love so much. Every grain of sand was once part of a mighty peak, carrying the history of the earth within its small, silicate heart across the ages. Even the smallest impurity adds color and character, a reminder that perfection in nature is found in the unique details of every single particle. The iron atom stands out, a heavier neighbor in the silicon forest, born in the heart of a dying star long before the Earth existed. You are literally holding stardust in your hands. The atoms in a grain of sand were forged in the violent deaths of ancient, massive stars. Traveling across the light years, these atoms found their home here, becoming the rocks, the soil, and eventually the sand that cushions your every step. The journey of an atom is a journey of billions of years, a story written in the language of physics and told by the time. With every footprint, we shift worlds. We move millions of solar system-like structures with a single step, unaware of the cosmic scale beneath us. Nature is resilient, always returning to a state of balance, even as we leave our mark on the shifting sands of the world's coastlines. Between the grains, life thrives in the microscopic films of water, a whole ecosystem existing in the spaces that we think are simply empty. To a water bear, a grain of sand is a mountain, a stable home in a world of rushing tides and shifting, dangerous golden boulders. Not all sand is rock. Some are the remains of ancient life, shells, and corals ground down into the fine powder that makes the beach. Biological crystals are different, built by life with a purpose, adding a layer of organic history to the geological story of the beach's sand. In this handful of sand, we have the history of the stars and the history of life, all mixed together in a beautiful golden slurry. Gravity is weak here, but the electromagnetic force is king, governing every interaction and ensuring the atom maintains its perfect, spherical shape and integrity. This cage of light is what prevents your hand from passing through the sand, the repulsion of electrons pushing back against the electrons in you. When you touch sand, you aren't actually touching matter. You are feeling the force of fields pushing against each other at an incredible distance. In the world of the very small, touch is an illusion. We are floating on a sea of forces, never truly making contact with anything. As the light fades, the shadows grow long, turning the beach into a dramatic landscape of light and dark, visible and invisible worlds alike. Below the surface, the grains are packed tight, supporting the weight of the world above with the strength of their atomic lattices and bonds. Even sound travels here, a vibration that leaps from one silicon heart to the next, carrying the roar of the ocean deep into the earth. With enough heat, this humble sand transforms. The lattices break, the atoms wander, and a new form of matter is born. Glass. Glass is a frozen liquid, a state of chaos captured in time, where atoms are locked in place, without the perfect order of the crystal. From sand, we make the glass that allows us to see the stars and the very atoms we have been exploring throughout this amazing journey. We use the sand to see the sand. It is a cycle of discovery where matter helps us understand the fundamental nature of its own existence. The neutrons sit quietly in the nucleus, the stabilizers of the atomic world, providing the mass needed to keep the protons' fire in check. Even here, things can change. The weak force allows the very building blocks of matter to transform, a slow alchemy that happens over billions of years. Gluons are the stickiest things in the universe, a force so powerful that it makes the energy of an atomic bomb like a candle. Most of the mass of a grain of sand comes not from the particles themselves, but from the frantic kinetic energy of the quarks moving inside. You are a witness to a symphony of energy. A grain of sand is a vibrating musical note in the grand composition of the entire cosmos. Levels upon levels, worlds within worlds. The deeper we go, the more we realize that the universe is far more complex than we ever dreamed. At the very bottom of reality, space itself is boiling. Virtual particles appear and vanish in the blink of a cosmic eye, filling the void. Against this backdrop of quantum chaos, the atom is a miracle of stability, a solid foundation upon which the entire physical world is built. Unity is strength. Alone, an atom is a ghost. Together, they are the rock, the sand, and the very ground that supports our lives every day. Witness the birth of a crystal. This is how the Earth builds its treasures, through the patient and perfect repetition of molecular patterns over time. The beauty of a grain of sand is the beauty of geometry. It is a mathematical truth made manifest in a tiny, physical form for us. The wind is the sculptor of the beach, moving millions of these geometric wonders into shapes that mimic the vast deserts of our planet Earth. From the micron to the kilometer, the patterns of nature repeat. The dunes are but giant versions of the ridges on a single grain. Even from space, the presence of sand is a defining feature of our world, a testament to the power of the small to shape the large. We return to our starting point, but the world looks different. Every speck of color on this beach is now a window into the infinite. The connection is physical. You are made of the same atoms, forged in the same stars, and governed by the same laws as this sand. As above, so below. The stars in the sky and the grains on the beach are brothers in a cosmic dance of matter and light. The boundaries between the world of the atom and the world of the stars are thinner than we think, joined by the light we see. A single grain can change the world around it. It creates ripples that travel outward, a metaphor for the impact of even the smallest things. Everything is part of a larger wave, Our journey through the sand has shown us that size is an illusion, but the structure is eternal. The greatest discovery is not what we find under a microscope, but the sense of awe that awakens within us when we truly see. Within your own eye is another universe, another layer of complex atoms and cells, all working in harmony to allow you to perceive the world. The day ends, but the knowledge remains. The grain of sand is no longer just sand. It is a monument to the infinite nature of reality. It returns to the collective, a small part of a grand whole, yet carrying the entire blueprint of the universe within its tiny, silicate frame. The beach is a reflection of the sky. We are standing on a sea of stars, each one a grain of sand in the vastness of space. We leave, but the journey into the infinite never truly ends. It is a path that lies open to anyone who dares to look closer. From the smallest quark to the largest galaxy, we are part of a single, breathtaking story. This is the secret inside a grain of sand. Time flows on, but the fundamental secrets of matter remain, locked inside the atoms that make up our bodies and our world forever and always. Good night, small world. You have taught us that there is nothing too small to be significant, and nothing too vast to be understood by us. Keep looking, keep dreaming, and never stop exploring the infinite. The universe is waiting for you in the smallest places you can ever imagine. Diversity is the hallmark of our planet. Each type of sand tells a different story of the Earth's violent and creative past through its chemistry. Born in fire, this black sand carries the heat of the mantle, a direct connection to the molten heart of the Earth beneath our very feet. This white grain was once a home, a living structure built atom by a creature that lived in a warm, ancient tropical sea. Life uses the same elements as the stars, but arranges them with a purpose, creating structures that are both functional and incredibly beautiful to behold. The same forces hold the coral and the silicon. The universe uses a small set of rules to create an infinite variety of material forms. In the palm of your hand, you hold the fire of volcanoes, the history of life, and the stardust of the ancient, deep cosmic past. Even the air is part of the story, oxygen and nitrogen atoms dancing in the gaps, constant companions to the solid grains of the sandy shore. The invisible world is just as active as the visible one. We are surrounded by a frantic, high-speed ballet of gas atoms at all times. Oxygen, the breath of life, is held together by these shared electron bridges, a fundamental link that allows us to exist and to breathe. The same atoms that bounce off the sand grains enter our bodies, becoming part of us for a brief moment in the cosmic timeline of life. We are a river of atoms, a temporary gathering of stardust that has come together to think, to feel, and to wonder about its own origin. Everything leads back to the core. The nucleus is the anchor of reality, the point around which all the complexity of the world is built. To hold a nucleus together, particles are constantly exchanged in a game of subatomic catch that happens trillions of times every single second of time. We are now at the limit of physics. Here, space and time themselves may break down into a foam of pure mathematical probability and geometric light. Imagine that every particle is just a single note played on a cosmic string. The entire grain of sand is a symphony of these vibrations. From the smallest vibration to the most solid rock, the universe is built on layers of harmony and structure that we are only beginning to see. Every time we look at a grain of sand, we are looking at the end result of this incredible, multi-layered process of cosmic construction and beauty. Quartz, the most common mineral in sand, is also one of the most remarkable. It can generate electricity when squeezed, a property called piezoelectricity. Squeeze the sand, and you create light. The very ground beneath your feet is alive with the potential for energy and for technological transformation today. The sand has built our modern world. From the beaches, we take the silicon to create the brains of our computers and our smartphones every day. This is the Silicon Age. We have turned the humble sand into an engine of information, a testament to our ability to harness nature's secrets. The order we find in the sand is the order we use to build our future. It is a partnership between human mind and planetary matter. The city is made of sand, the concrete, the glass, the chips, We are living in a world built from the very grains we walk upon. We are inseparable from the earth. The materials of the planet are the materials of our civilization and the very fabric of our daily lives. The rhythm of the tide is the heartbeat of the world, a constant reminder of the forces that move both the ocean and the tiny grains. Sand is not unique to Earth. The moon is covered in it regolith, a dry, sharp sand that carries the history of our solar system's violent birth. Without water or wind to smooth it, lunar sand is as sharp as glass, a raw and ancient version of the grains we find on our shore. On Mars, the sand is red with iron, blown by thin winds into dunes that are miles long, a silent, dusty world of silicon and oxygen. The same chemistry, different world. The iron that turns our blood red turns the Martian sand into a desert of rust and ancient mystery. The universe is a sand-making machine. It breaks the large into the small, constantly recycling the matter of stars into the dust of planets. Some grains are time capsules. They hold the remains of life from millions of years ago, preserved in a tiny, silicate tomb for us to find. To see this is to look back in time. The sand is a library of the Earth's history, if only we have the tools to read it. It takes eons to create a single grain. The sand you hold is the result of a process more patient than any human civilization has ever been. There are more grains of sand on Earth than there are stars in the observable universe. Think about that the next time you walk here. We are surrounded by infinities, the infinite smallness of the atom and the infinite vastness of the stars, all meeting here on this simple beach tonight. In the heart of these clouds, the atoms of the future are being gathered, preparing to become the sand and the life of worlds yet to be. The cycle begins again, light and matter, dancing in the void, creating the wonders that we will one day hold in the palm of our hand. Our time with this grain is over, but its journey continues. It will be here long after we are gone, a silent witness to the ages. Into the sea it goes, to be moved by the currents to a new shore, a new adventure in the never-ending story of the Earth's surface. On the ocean floor, it will rest for 1,000 years, or perhaps it will be buried deep and turned back into solid rock once again. The cycle of the rock is slow and majestic, from sand to stone, and back to sand again. The Earth is constantly rebuilding and renewing itself. We walk upon the remains of ancient worlds, a vast library of silicate and stone that tells the epic tale of our home in the universe. A new day begins, and the beach is reborn in the light of the morning sun, every grain of sand waiting for the world to notice. In this light, the sand is no longer just dirt or rock. It is a field of diamonds, a treasure house of cosmic and atomic wonders. Look closely. The whole universe is here in this one point of light. It is a reminder that beauty and mystery are everywhere we look. The harmony of the atom is the harmony of the world. In the smallest of things, we find the greatest of all truths about reality. Everything is connected. We are part of this grand, atomic dance, a single story told through a trillion different forms of matter and of life. The cosmic web is the ultimate structure, a network of light and dark that mirrors the connections we saw inside the tiny grain of sand. The universe is breathing, expanding, and creating, and you are a part of it, a witness to the glory of the infinite and the small. There is a peace that comes with understanding. To know that even the smallest grain of sand is a masterpiece is to know the world. Listen to the sea. It has been telling the story for billions of years, and it will continue to tell it as long as there is sand. The geometry of the world is the language of the divine. It is the silent poetry of the atoms and the stars, written in the sand. We live on a miracle, a world made of stardust and sand, a home that is both a tiny speck and a vast, infinite playground for exploration. Look at our home. From here, it is just another grain of sand in the cosmic beach of the universe, small, but infinitely precious to us. One grain, one universe, one story. We are all part of the journey into the infinite, today, tomorrow, and forever in the halls of time. The same rhythm that moves the atom moves your heart. You are the universe experiencing itself through the eyes of a child on a beach. We are light. We are matter. We are the infinite secrets hidden inside a single grain of sand, waiting to be rediscovered by every new generation. This is not the end of the mystery, only the end of this chapter. The universe still has many secrets to tell us if we listen. The light returns to the sea. The secrets remain in the sand. Keep your eyes open and your heart ready for the next great journey ahead. Even a raindrop is a world-shattering event for a grain of sand, a collision of liquid and solid that has happened for billions of years. For a brief moment, the water and the sand are one, a chemical and physical meeting that defines the very nature of our wet and rocky world. The beach becomes a conductor, a vast network of energy and information, reacting to the sky and the sea with every passing storm and wave. When fire meets sand from the heavens, a fossil of lightning is born. The energy is captured forever in a beautiful, glass-like root in the earth. It is a violent transformation, a moment where the infinite power of the atmosphere is carved into the very substance of the humble, silent beach. The sand remembers. It holds the energy of every storm, the heat of every sun, and the history of every wave that has ever crashed. Complexity at every level. The sand is a living, breathing part of our world, not just a dead collection of rock and mineral fragments. If a grain could talk, it would tell of mountains, of rivers, of deep oceans, and of the many hands it has passed through over time. Desert sand is different, worn down by the wind until it is round and smooth, a testament to the power of the air to shape world. Beach sand is a child of the water, polished to a shine by the relentless movement of the tides and the soft touch of the ocean. From the same building blocks, the universe creates endless variety. It is a lesson in the power of environment to shape the very nature of matter. We walk through a gallery of natural art, a beach made of billions of masterpieces that we usually ignore as we go about our lives. Is the star a grain of sand in a cosmic beach? Is the grain of sand a star in a microscopic universe? The answer is both. Our perspective has expanded. We see the world not as a collection of things, but as a vast, interconnected web of energy and of light. Every day is a chance to see the infinite. The beach is waiting, the sand is ready, and the universe is open for your next exploration. We leave with a sense of wonder, knowing that even the smallest part of our world is filled with secrets that are truly, deeply amazing. Today, remember, you are never alone. You are part of the infinite, and the infinite is part of you in every grain of sand you touch. Fly high with your curiosity. The world is much bigger than it seems, and much smaller than you think, all at the same time today. The journey into the infinite is yours to take. Every grain of sand is a doorway. Walk through it, and see the wonders of the world. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep looking deeper. The universe is in the palm of your hand, waiting for you to see.